big hello and a very warm welcome to Brand Equity with me, Sonali Krishna. Today's show is a rather special one as I'm going to be joined by a brand that calls itself the finest toy shop in the world. That's correct, I'm talking about Hamleys, and its global CEO is right here in India, Mr. Gudjon Reynisson. Thank you so much for joining us, Gudjon. Truly a pleasure having you on Brand Equity. First things first, I know that you've launched your 25th store in India. Is that what brought you here?
Yeah. I had to attend the opening of the 25th one. It's such a great milestone for us.
And tell me, 25 stores in India, and the total number of global stores would be 86.
86.
That makes India one of your largest markets.
Yes.
Right?
India is definitely one of our most important markets.
So my first question really is that you launched Hamleys in India in 2010. And in a span of about 6 years, you've expanded quite rapidly. But given the fact that India's toy market is, not pretty evolved, I mean, you're possibly the only store, the toy store, that has, laid eyes on this market and has actually done some work here. But apart from that, as you would know, most of India's market is pretty unorganized. And, all the purchases of toys are done either, online or through other large retail brands which are not, essentially a toy store. So what made you look at India as a potential market, given that our size is so small?
I mean, we do toy retail in a very different way to others.
Yep.
We bring toys to life with theater, and we try to create a memorable visit for the customer. And it was clear that our proposition would be well received in India. And when we partnered up with Reliance and later Reliance Brands, we knew that we had the right partner. So there was nothing preventing us from entering the market.
I understand that. Let's walk into We're in this lovely toy store. What was the real trigger? You must have done a series of studies that must have possibly told you that India was a good market to invest in terms of share returns, given that the toy market is not a very large market in this country compared to other countries.
Yeah, the most important thing for us first was that we were ready to venture out of the UK for the first time in our 256-year history. We had done our homework, we had prepared for an international expansion, so we were ready. And India was, we always considered India to be an exciting opportunity for us. We were definitely going in early. Very few European brands had gone in the way we did at the time.
That's true.
And we found a good partner, which meant that we were ready. And it has been a great journey since. We started off slowly in the beginning, but we're ramping out the rollout speed now.
Tell me, when you decided to get out of your home market, which is essentially the UK, it took you a really long time, and you were I think, largely responsible for the entire international expansion for Hamleys. What went wrong? Why did it take you so long to think of, getting out of your comfort zone?
I mean, I can't speak for other management teams. It's of course not just me, it's my management team. I have and my team. I have a fantastic team. I mean, Hamleys was for 240 years approximately only a UK retailer.
Exactly.
And why we didn't venture out of the country sooner, I don't know the answer to that. I know that when we felt we were ready, me and my management team, we started that international expansion, and at the end of this year we're going to have 100 stores worldwide.
Right. So if I had to flash back in time and just talk to you about the Hamleys journey.
Yeah.
Right? And you've witnessed a large part of its journey, given that it's now changed hands with 3 different owners and 3 different cultures.
Yeah.
From Icelandic to French to now Chinese.
Yeah.
Why do you think it changed hands in terms of ownership so many times?
It's been a journey. Let's say that it's been a big journey.
Sure.
And of course, for me, we focused on running the business, on growing the business, and when people saw that we were becoming an international retailer with a magnificent opportunity to grow even further, interest in the business, in the brand grew, which was the main reason why it changed hands.
Okay, so tell me, in a way which is as candid as it can be.
Yeah.
Right? How does life change when there is a change in ownership? For instance, in 2015, you now have Chinese owners. I know the one great consequence of that is your heavy investment now in the Chinese market, also thanks to the fact that, you know, they've relaxed their one-child policy.
Yeah.
So hence you're getting a lot more aggressive. Of course, you have Chinese owners as well.
Yeah.
So how does life change, A, when ownership changes in terms of just generally the philosophy and the vision of the company, and B, what is the most palpable change you have witnessed now that you have new Chinese owners?
I mean, I don't think we should overthink this.
Okay. Okay.
The thing is, you need to focus on your brand. You need to focus on the ethos of the brand. You need to believe in why this brand should be a winner in today's world, ever-changing world.
Sure.
And I think the key for us has been and will continue to be never to get too preoccupied with who owns us and what is changing, but focusing on this fantastic brand. And the management and me, we just focus day in, day out on delivering the experience for the customers and making sure that we never dilute this brand.
Okay.
It doesn't really matter who owns us or where we're operating. Children and families are the same pretty much everywhere. And as long as our owners give us a safe environment to operate in, we're going to be fine.
Tell me about China. Why is it that you have 25 stores in India and you've just opened your first store in China, which is by any mile a larger and a more a more lucrative market than ours? Why have you launched your first store in China just 10 days ago?
It's so funny. When you set off on a journey like this, you think you can plan everything. You think, yeah, we'll do this first, then this and this. It doesn't work that way. You have to find the right partner to work with, and China was a huge market. We always knew it wasn't going anywhere, but we had our hands full with the markets we were in. So there was never a moment where we had to enter China. We're now into Chinese ownership, so it's a fantastic opportunity for us, as you can imagine, to enter that market now, and in a partnership with our owners, helping us understand this big and complicated market, and we're really, really happy that we're there now, and we have huge plans.
So as you know, Toys R Us has also stated that they're going to rapidly increase their stores in China, which is just after you entered. So now I think they're going to go up to 100 stores in China. And in India, they've announced that they're going to aggressively open stores here as well. Of course, you have a leg up. But the fact of the matter is, Toys R Us states that, you know, they're catering to the mass market, not like Hamleys, which is, you know, in a different league in terms of pricing.
They're very different to their proposition. They are supermarket of sorts. We are very, very different. We have a completely different approach to retail. We focus on creating this theater that I talk about a lot.
Sure.
And we're very price competitive. So there's nothing in that to worry about.
But would you say that you would be matching, you know, Toys R Us?
I don't know what they will do. But today we're very, very price competitive and compatible in this market.
Yep.
And we offer a fantastic experience, and we do retail with ambition, and that has been well received. And I'm sure we have a great future in India.
Tell me, you know, when you want to open a store, how do you decide, on what basis you decide the square feet? For instance, your largest store in the world is in Moscow, right? And second largest now in China. And for instance, this store that we're in Lower Parel, Mumbai, is I think 15,000 square feet.
Yeah.
So how do you decide, you know, how many square feet will be depending on, you know?
There are many factors that come into that. Our smallest stores are typically in airports.
Okay.
We have a very, very successful chain of stores in airports, and by the way, we have 2 in Delhi and soon to be 1 in Mumbai, doing extremely well. So those are the smallest ones. We then opened a format a couple of years ago in Moscow, which we call Hamleys World.
Okay.
That is our venture into almost a new sector of experiential retail, because we bring attractions more akin to theme parks.
Okay.
And if we have a good location in a city that justifies an investment of this magnitude, and we get the landlord and the brand to come in with us to make this happen,
Sure.
we can actually open a store as big as 70,000 square feet, which offers probably the maximum of the entertainment and excitement and theater that we can offer. But we can also do smaller stores that work extremely well, but are more in local areas where you don't get as much footfall as in central London, central Moscow, or or other locations. So many factors that come into play. But one of our biggest strengths as a brand, I think, is how we can flex between those smaller formats and bigger formats,
Right.
and still deliver the essence of the brand.
Okay. Tell me, which country or which market today is your most profitable market? Number one market.
I don't want to talk about profit. India will definitely be one of our biggest markets in the future. China will be as well, but we're also doing fantastically well in markets like South Africa, in the Middle East.
Okay.
We have, of course, our original market in the UK. We're going to venture into the US next year, which is a very exciting business for us. So we think that we have a huge opportunity worldwide.
In terms of, sheer difficulties about, approaching a market like India, which is not really known for branded toys. It's so used to the unorganized market. It's so used to buying toys, if at all, from mom and pop stores. How difficult is it? How difficult and how different is your approach to try and break a market like India?
The thing is, when you really experience it, markets are much more similar than they're different. And the consumers in India are very well educated. They know brands really well.
Is that?
Yeah. And there isn't that much difference. And these stores that I saw today and yesterday, we visited 4 stores, and of course attended one of the openings. These are some of the best stores we have in the world. And I'm not just saying it because I'm here. The level of visual merchandising, the retail disciplines, they're second to none. So the Indian market is as demanding as any other market, and only the best is enough.
Right. Tell me, but in terms of today, not just Hamleys, but as a toys market, would you say the biggest threats today and the biggest challenges for you would be the advent of giants like Amazon, Flipkart more to an Indian context, Amazon globally, where more and more toys are being bought online, and B, which is a more complicated question, is the fact that more and more today parents have forgotten about how important toys are, and they've gone on to gadgets, and gifting toys has become a birthday occasion. And more parents don't find it a necessity, as let's say when you and I were growing up, to actually get toys, as opposed to let's say an iPad or a mobile, because screen time is becoming so important.
Okay, I'm going to answer the first one first.
Yeah, first one first.
If I didn't have a brand, a concept that delivers an experience, and it's all about the visit, and it's all about the physical experience of being here, playing with the toys, opening boxes, watching demonstration, watching a princess or a pirate walking. It's a mixture of a theatrical experience and a retail experience. If I didn't have that, I would be really worried about the internet.
Okay.
Which means that the ones who don't should be.
Okay.
But for us, maybe there are going to be fewer and fewer competitors because of it.
Okay.
Because internet doesn't challenge us in any significant way. We continue and we focus on delivering this experience. We're going to be fine because the internet can never offer this. Of course, some things are changing. But you know what? The consumption of conventional toys is growing every year. So the overall amount in the world, and as a percentage, and last year was a fantastic year. So the retail of conventional toys is growing as much as ever before. Other things are changing around it, and we do see 3-year-old children play with iPads and all that. But mark my words, they've not stopped playing with conventional toys. Oh no.
Okay. Are you looking at let's say, doing a leapfrog in your own game, which is also, trying to harness the digital wave? because the e-commerce giants now, are doing pretty well in toy sales as well, would there be, an exclusive Hamleys online mechanism where, for parents who are very, very busy with their tight schedules can just buy stuff online and, and not, so where is it right now and how far are we going to see it grow?
I mean, we are at different levels in different markets.
Sure.
In the UK, we have a good online presence. We have a fully functional e-commerce site with full range. Some of our partners have started down that road. There are huge opportunities in some markets where the development of e-commerce is not as advanced.
Yeah, sure.
So of course we will move in that as well. But
will you look at exclusivity where you handle your own e-com portal, or would you be?
I can't say that was the decision on that.
It's open right now.
It's open.
Yeah. But do you see significant number of sales coming in from online as compared to, let's say, your physical stores?
Me personally, I always see the physical stores at the heart of this brand, which means that we will continue to drive physical stores, and we have grown from. When I started, we had pretty much one store in London.
Sure.
At the end of this year, we will have 100.
Yep.
My COO, who is somewhere here, he has promised me 50 stores next year.
50 stores in India?
No. Not just in India.
Okay.
But I'm sure India will reach that number soon. So we have a fantastic opportunity. And you can just imagine how much fun it is to be introducing stores like this to these markets.
Yeah. Now, give me some unique trends that you witnessed in emerging markets like India when you compare them to more developed, mature markets such as the UK and the US.
In some of the Asian markets, we have seen a stronger drive towards the educational development value of toys than we have seen necessarily in Europe.
Sure. Okay.
So of course we try to lean a little bit further in that direction.
Right.
But these are little things that I'm trying to. I would say 90% is the same.
But do you see a price sensitiveness in this market or not? Because we are all about being price sensitive. So I'm saying, have you noticed?
When we started to prepare for our Indian
entry
into Indian business, I heard that word a lot.
Yeah.
And I still hear it, but I have another word for the Indian consumer, and he is value conscious.
For money,
He's value conscious.
Okay.
If you offer value, the Indian consumer is as willing to come to you as any other consumer. But he wants to get value.
Another question I have is that, I've understood that Hamleys is now, well established in the locations which are basically metropolitans, right? Which is basically Mumbai, Bangalore, all the metros. But you're also going.
We're in 14 cities.
You're also you've also gone to like tier 1, tier 2 cities, right? Ludhiana being one, which was opened recently.
Yeah.
What made you go into a tier 2 city? Because how do you know the revenue potential of the tier 2 cities?
There is a very, very simple answer to this.
Okay.
I have fantastic partners who are locals.
Okay.
And we take their lead.
Okay.
If they think that we should open in a city, we have a very short conversation about it.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're convinced that we should, we do.
Okay. Fair enough. So if I had to ask, this is a very India-specific question. Which market in India is making you really happy?
If I can answer it by saying the most amount of stores we have in the city could be an indication. And the most amount of stores we will have are in Delhi and Mumbai.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. So it is the top metros which are. Have you ever done everybody talks about India and this huge population that we have, and hence it's such a great market to invest in. So we're at 1.2 billion. But if you actually slice that down into actual consuming Indians, it would be far lesser, right? It would be about 250, 300 million at best.
Darshan Mehta, the CEO of Reliance Brands, who leads the business here, he once said to me, it's probably the first time we met, said to me, Gudjon, don't get distracted by this 1,200 million thing. This is much closer to 100 million.
Oh, you said that?
Yeah.
And
for me,
very accurate.
It was quite good to hear that.
Yeah.
Of course, I knew Like sort of in rural areas, we wouldn't be opening. I was still thinking 500 maybe?
Yeah, sure.
Like 100.
Sure.
Think that way.
So you're very clear that when you look at the India strategy, you look at 100 million. Okay, that's clever. Yeah.
It's slightly bigger than the UK.
Exactly. Right, and how many stores do you have in UK?
13.
So you have 13 stores in your home market, and you have 25 stores in the Indian market, right? It is actually fascinating, given that, you know, whatever it is, despite Brexit and et cetera, your earning capacity is far higher than us, even if you take the 100 million in India versus the 100 million in UK, right? So why would you invest more in this country?
I mean, there are no clear answers to these questions. I mean, we have the biggest store in the world in terms of turnover in central London, and that has meant that we have opened fewer stores in London than we possibly would have done. It doesn't mean that we will not do it.
Sure.
And some of it has to do with the fantastically competitive environment that the UK is. Some of it has to do with the fact that we've been extremely busy supporting franchise partners in 20 international markets.
Gudjon, clearly your vision ever since you've taken over seems to be that of international expansion, right? Maintaining your core ethos of it being theatrical and being an experience, etc. But I mean, so yeah, sure, you are, you're expanding at a pretty quick pace, and it's showing. But what else apart from expansion?
The thing is, what has taken us some time to understand and to change the culture in our business is that we are a brand with a group function that supports markets all over the world, of which the UK is only one market.
Got it.
Because people do still think because there's a UK is your market and then you do these other. It's not like that.
Okay.
We have a group function which drives the brand, and UK is one of them. So we give as much attention to all of the other markets. And this is, maybe for the last 2 years, we've managed to get the business to work this way. But this has unleashed unbelievable energy in worldwide for this brand, which is fantastically exciting to experience. What else? The new owners, they're very, very ambitious for this brand.
Is it?
We tend to be, we say that we're the guardians of this brand. When you get to wear the golden Hamley, it means that you're one of the people who trusted with. This is a 256-year-old company, so we tend to be a little bit conservative in branching into new things, especially when we have a good formula that works.
Sure.
But we will become more of a lifestyle brand in the next 10 years.
Oh, how do you define that?
Many questions.
How do you define that?
I'm letting you in on a secret. We will become more of a lifestyle brand.
Give me a broad idea.
We'll meet again next year, and I'll tell you more.
Lifestyle, as in, so it won't be a toy store anymore.
Not necessarily toy store in the concept that you think of it today.
Okay.
We have already branched out of it with our attraction-driven Hamleys World concept.
Yep.
Where you can ride carousels and drive racetracks and learn how to develop your artistic skills and et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
So we're on our way. We have playroom where you can play with a toddler in an environment that stimulates development, and this is very, very exciting. We will go further.
Okay. And how fast before Hamley World reaches India?
I thought you were going to say how fast before you take over the world. That was the question.
How fast before Hamley World reaches India?
We were actually looking at a location today.
Is it?
Yeah.
In Mumbai?
Don't ask me where.
In Mumbai, obviously. You've been in Mumbai.
We've been to a couple of other cities.
Okay.
We were looking at a fantastic location for the first Hamleys World of 50,000 square feet.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. So you think India has that kind of potential, huh? To justify that kind of investment? Yeah?
I can't describe how excited we are about the future.
Well, looking forward to all the secrets that you've unraveled on this show coming true. Thank you so much, Gudjon. Truly a pleasure speaking with you.
Likewise.